watching Dr. Guitarist Show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm showing you my brand new old AC15H Heritage TV edition. So this is a squarish shape Vox AC15 made in China, I know. Blonde, really beautiful blonde Tolex with the Vox grail and a gold Vox logo. It's a super versatile amp, super capable of doing a lot of different stuff, yet very simple because you don't have a lot of knobs. You have some switches that change completely the vibe of the amp. But first of all, let me thank my dear patrons. You guys are incredible. If you want to become a patron, you just go to the link. You'll be getting early access to episodes, free video lessons, and free backing tracks, and of course my huge thank you. You can also become a YouTube Pro member of this channel and you'll get the same goodies plus some loyalty stickers and some priority in the chats. That is the way I finance this channel, so I'm very thankful for those of you who contribute. I'm also opening up some spots for guitar lessons, video lessons with me via Skype or YouTube, one-on-one, so it's me talking to you. And if you're interested, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook and we'll deal with it from there. Let's go to the Vox AC15. This is not a faithful recreation of an old school Vox. It's kind of a reinterpretation of what would be a good AC15 in this period. Mine came with the blue Alnico Celestion speaker in it, and I hated the sound. I now have a Budda speaker made by Eminence. It came with one of my Budda speaker cabinets. Really great all-around speaker. It has a lot of bass. It's thick. It has not enough not too much brightness. So it is a very balanced speaker, and I love it. I just swapped the speaker in, and I was blown away because the amp is super incredibly versatile. It's a loud amp nonetheless, but it's great amp. Let me show you the panel and explain the panel because that's where all the magic happens. So this is the Heritage version. Basically, it has two different channels, which means you have an EF86 channel, which is the holy grail of Vox amps. So the EF86 is the classic first Vox amp. And for those of you who don't know, back in the day, the Vox amp had a volume and a cut. And that's it. Two knob amp, so you could only cut treble and you can only get more volume. And that would be it. That's why guys like Brian May used treble boosters with the Vox amps, because they were really dark. Then figuring out that the amps were too dark for what people were wanting them to be, Vox changed and did the top boost channel, the brilliant. They did a lot of changes. So this amp incorporates a lot of those changes, and I'll go through it. The first EF86 channel, and this is it, two controls, basically volume, two inputs with a 60 dB difference from each other. So this is a 60 dB louder than this, which means it's like having a boost in the amp itself. If you plug it here, you will have 6 dB less gain than if you plug here. Okay? And volume works as volume works. Going from here to here, we have the operation mode. Pentode mode means 15 watts. Triad mode will operate as 7.5 watts. The tone changes, of course. The tone is also different. Then, still on the EF86 channel, we have a bass shift, which means this is the normal section. They just incorporated a bass shift because the bass is too heavy on this amp. So you just focus a little more. You cut off a little of the bass. It gets not thinner, but less woolly. Let's start exactly there. And then the brilliant channel is something they added on. So let's start on the normal Vox AC15, normal old age, which would have this volume here, this volume control here, and this cut. That would be it. Two knobs, not even this and nothing of this. No switches, no operation mode, nothing. So this is how we would sound the kind of close to the original. And you see it's dark. We usually think about Vox amps as being shiny, brilliant, and that's not a thing at all. What I felt with the blue Alnico here, it's a 15 watt, but it wouldn't handle the amp. It would crap out and will sound a lot super fizzy. Let's hear the low input, or the lowest input. And then one of the shifts they did is shifting the bass. Hear how it sounds. So first without it. With it. So immediately a big difference. Then you have the operation mode, triode or pentode. This changes how the EF86 tube works, if it works in a triode mode or in a pentode mode. Pentode mode is what you have been hearing. The triode mode means you have less distortion, less gain, so it's a cleaner platform. And with the bass shift on, plugging into the higher input. So immediately, only with the switches, we have a variety of tones we can get: cleaner, crunchier, louder, quieter. It's already a great amp, and we still have two voicings. So back in the day when they felt the amp was too dark, they introduced the brilliance channel, which is this switch here. But they only had two positions, either off, as we have been listening to, or the extreme left, which would be bass cut, boost, treble. Which is a Jimmy Page sound to me, and it's a great sound if I want to pair it with, for example, a deluxe reverb. It sounds bright, aggressive, crunchy. The in-between pickup combination sounds. It sounds, it has that bite, that bright, bright edge, which I really love. You can hear it's struggling, it's crackling, because it's a tube amp and it's not a new tube amp. They introduced a second option of brilliance, which is way more, it's an intermediate between the no brilliance at all or the extreme brilliance. So this is the intermediate. Let's go through all of them. No brilliance at all. Voicing number 1. Voicing number 2. And we still have the bass switch on this, so let's hear the middle section, the brilliance control number 1. Switch the bass. Gets even tighter. Then we have the triad mode, which makes it cleaner. This is an incredible amp. I love it just for this channel. Let's move on to the top boost. The top boost is the latest version. They were struggling with very dark amps and people were demanding brighter amps. So what they did was creating the top boost channel, which has a bass and a treble, EQ, a volume, and then the cut is general for the amp. And the cut on this amps, it acts on the opposite direction. So here is not cutting at all. Maximum is cutting all the high end. Let's hear it. So it works on the power amp, not on the preamp, and it takes off the high. If you have a very bright speaker, you might use it. With this speaker, I have no need for it. So let's hear the top boost channel. Usually starting with the EQ on the middle, it's easier because this EQ is really interactive. So there's sometimes where you move the treble and it changes, it gets really thin or out of phase almost. So we'll get there in a minute. So volume almost at minimum. This is the top channel. Let's use low input. So the two inputs itself determines if you have more or less gain. You have a cleaner or a dark or a dirtier amp immediately. What a great amp. This is a great sound too. Let's hear it with triad mode operation, so 7.5 watt. This is 15. Seven 7.5. Way cleaner, way quieter. Let's move it up. Go to high output, high input. Still at 7.2, 7.5, it's still a very loud amp, but way more manageable than at 15. 15 is a super loud amp. Hear it. Same volume. Too loud. Okay, let me show you how the EQ works. On this channel, I like the low input option on the treble channel and use the EQ like this, middle at treble at noon almost, and bass just a little because it's really bassy, this channel. And it cleans good, so you can have like all your in-between things like Stonesy. It can go 7.5 watts. But it also gets dark, or at least it's my impression. And here it is. It's a simple amp. You just have to know to tweak all these knobs. But it's usually like set it and forget it. You have volume, and basically that's it. Super great functional amp. You can get really thin sounds, really fat sounds, clean sounds. It's not the greatest clean amp. It's meant for a little overdrive. But it's that on the edge of overdrive, so it's the other side of clean sound to me. There's the Fender clean, and then there's the Vox, which is not really 100% clean, but if you play it like gentle. Well, that's it, my friends. I hope you have liked the show. If you haven't done it yet, please consider subscribing and leaving the thumbs up. I know 80% of you guys who watch the episodes are not subscribers. And if you subscribe, it's really helpful because YouTube will suggest the video to more and more people, and it helps the channel to get bigger awareness. Also, if you like what I'm doing here, please consider becoming a patron. You'll be getting early access to episodes, free lessons, backing tracks, and my huge thank you. You can also become a YouTube Pro member of this channel, and you'll get the same things that you get on Patreon plus some stickers, loyalty stickers, and priority on chats. You get my thank you as usual. I'm also opening up some spots for guitar lessons, so if you're interested, just let me know, send me a direct message via Instagram or Facebook, and we'll deal with it from there. Thank you so much. We'll see each other next week.